Yes, indeedy, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy high noon. Great to be here. We're getting closer and closer to that moment of truth on Sunday when Super Bowl LIX, shout out Lick It Up, shout out Last Licks, will be played, and we will finally get the winner of this god-awful matchup that has so many people unhappy and stressed out this week.
The closer I get to you. You just said we're getting closer and closer. I just wanted
Why
to
don't you
break
keep
the
that?
song.
You can't give me a tease like that. Deliver the rest of the vocal. Let's go.
No, I can't. That's all I got.
No,
That's all I got. It's the
okay, you
closer
sure?
I get to you.
You sure? You're an
Yeah,
underrated vocalist. Tony's a pain in the ass about this. I've been breaking his balls for 30 years. I can't get the guy to sing a song if I put a gun in his face because I need somebody to help me do like background vocals and stuff on occasion, and I can't get Tony to be that guy. But anyway, I know you got a good voice. Great to see you, Tony.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Back at you, dude. Back at you.
Before we dive into the mayhem that will be today's Friday high noon broadcast, let me just give you a couple of words about our good friends at Longbridge Pizza. These guys are my new saviors, quite frankly, as I'm always on the move and on the hunt for a new pizza place, new pizza destination. Well, I found it at Longbridge Pizza. Check them out at longbridgepizza.com. Head in there for the laid-back vibe and the serious pizza. Now, Creative Tony was giving a heads up on Wednesday, seeing as how the Super Bowl is a big party day. It's a big day to like have friends and family, and you get the food, you get the beer happening. Place your orders early.
Yes.
If you're going to get something from Longbridge, make sure you get your orders in early on Sunday so they can make sure they can deliver the food to you. And Tony also recommending that chicken Parmesan sandwich with every fiber of my being. It's so good. I'll be back in soon enough to get one. Say what's up to my guy, Neil Denardi. He runs the place. Great guy. Deadhead. Totally gets what we're doing. And he gets the whole community, the whole Polymath Particle community. So he's a really good dude. He's going to treat you like family. Say what's up to Neil. And by the way, enjoy the playlist of Hendrix, Stones, Dead, Anastasio. By the way, not just Fish, Anastasio Band.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, by the way, you want to hear something crazy, Tony? This is
until the day. Sorry, that's
I'm not sure I can prove this, but I have a theory I'm working on that you're gonna love this. Watch Tony's head explode. I think I saw the Trey Anastasio Band live before you did. How do you like that?
Did you see the trio, like the original trio?
No, I didn't see a trio, but I did go to a Trey Anastasio Band show. Remember our buddy Mikey Powers? What's up, Mike Powers?
Yeah.
He took me to the Warfield. I want to say this is like 05, dude. I mean, no later than 06. It was a long time ago. And Carlos Santana sat in the second set.
Yeah, I remember those shows.
It was badass. Anyway, that's how Neil's serving up the atmosphere at Longbridge Pizza. Yeah, he's going to give you the Fish and the Dead, but he's also giving you JGB, Jerry Garcia Band, Trey Anastasio Band. So get your pizzas, whether it be a square pie, whether it be a Nico pie, or your own creation. Go ahead and go nuts, man. Create your own. You want pepperoni, sausage, onion, peppers, and pineapple? They'll do it for you. So get on down to Longbridge Pizza on 3rd Street, 2347. 3rd Street, join the Vibe Tribe and enjoy the laid-back vibes and the serious pizza. Tony, on to the matters at hand.
One more thing about the Vibe Tribe and about Longbridge Pizza too, dude. Like you said, get the Super Bowl orders in early. If you want to be grubbing Longbridge Pizza, get them in early. Also, dude, Tuesday, they're celebrating their 11th year. Their anniversary is on Tuesday. They're going to be tapping a keg of Pliny the Younger.
Woo!
We're so stoked for them.
Yeah.
Check them out Tuesday. Their 11th anniversary. It's Neil Denardi and Andrew Marcolis, two local dudes, right? They're local. They're from South City. They're local dudes. They're deadheads, and they make great freaking food too. So, longbridgepizza.com. We're going to celebrate their anniversary next week, and we're stoked for them.
Okay, well, you mentioned on Tuesday, so shout out Till Tuesday and Amy Mann, the great vocalist Amy Mann. Hush,
shout out Tuesday Gone. Tuesday's Gone.
Voices Carry. I like that track, by the way. I like Voices Carry.
Me too. And I like Tuesday's Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, so do I, bro. Hey, man, I'm excited about the Super Bowl. I'm excited for our guest today at 12:30. None other.
You're excited about the Super Bowl? I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
No, I swear to God, I'm excited. I really am. I want the Chiefs to lose this game so badly. And I'm starting to feel better about that. I'm actually starting to feel like the Eagles are going to beat them. So, yes, I am excited. The day that the Chiefs fall will be a day that all of America can celebrate and kind of, you know how everybody's divided now? You got this side over here, you got that side over there. When the Chiefs finally fall on their effing faces in front of the entire world, which I hope happens. Jesus Christ, please God help me out.
I know.
let them fall on their faces, and then we can all rejoice as one great country, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, without the Kansas City Chiefs having a Super Bowl parade. That's my vision. That's my vision to bring America together, Tony. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
By the way, I forgot to give a shout out to my Meat Locker shirt from Neil Donardi and Longbridge Pizza. I just wanted to give that some love too.
Badass shirt, dude. It's a badass shirt. I got one of those too. And if we do get over to the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath gig in London, last ever Sabbath show, you might want to rock that. You might want to rock that in the streets of London.
It's got like, I'll have to put it up later. It's got like the guy grinding the meat, the sausage through the grinder and stuff. It's pretty funny. It's a cool shirt.
I think the guy,
they're umlauts, right? Yeah.
Tony, if I may, I believe the guy grinding the meat is none other than Satan himself. I'm dead serious.
Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer, the dark hand, the dark prince. Show everybody Satan on the meat grinder if you could. Look that up. Yeah, that's the devil right there. He's grinding some meat. I love it. I love
it's the best. Hey, dude, I mean, I'm excited for the game too because I think it's going to be a very, very, very good football game.
Yeah.
And a ton of strategy. I was talking to my uncle Paul Tonelli, who is a football just junkie. And he's like, you can't watch a game with him because he has to pause, rewind, like while the game's happening. So it's like he always says, let's come watch the game. I'm like, how about you watch it first and then we can maybe talk about it later, because he notices things I never see. Anyways, he thinks the Eagles are going to win the game too. Yeah. And he's hoping for long, sustained clock chunking drives. Right?
Yeah. No doubt. That's what we talked about this week.
Off the field.
No question.
Right?
No question. Yeah. Keep them up and off the field. And by the way, I want to remind everybody at 12:30 today, none other than Christian Nara. You see him on the comments line now. He's going to catapult his ass right here onto the show live to give us his top 3 or maybe 4 reasons this is the least likable Super Bowl matchup in history. Certainly is, in my opinion, T.
Paulie, your permission to play the Tony's top 3 open for Rags.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. My permission. You don't need my permission. Do whatever you want. I'm nobody's boss. Believe me, bro. I'm the last guy in the world. You'd probably be the first guy in the world you wanted as a boss. Tony called me up and be like, hey, I can't come in for like 5 days. I'd be like, all right, cool. See you next week. Like that's how that would go. Like I'd probably be an ideal boss, but nothing would get done. That's the problem.
By the way, I saw on X or Twitter earlier today, Sons of Johnny LeMaster, they're not even watching the Super Bowl. They're going to go watch the Dylan movie instead. And
not a bad, you know what? Right? Not a bad call.
It's also a great day to go skiing if you're up in the mountains, man.
Tony,
go skiing. It's
a great day to do anything, honestly, because the whole world is watching the game. You want to go to a movie, you want to go shopping, because no one's out.
Yeah,
you got run of the land. And by the way, on the East Coast, dude, the kickoff is until 6:30.
That's so brutal.
It is, dude. The game goes to like 10:30, 11 at night. I mean, it's a rough schedule they have.
I always thought about East Coasters for Monday Night Football back in the day, where it wouldn't start until 9 p.m. when Monday Night Football used to start at 6 p.m.
Hey, Holmes, you're pulling out of the parking lot on the East Coast at about almost 1 a.m. You're laughing. That's how it is. No, it's how it is. Dude. One of my theories. That's another reason why everyone on the East Coast is always so pissed off. It's stuff like that. Like you're leaving a Monday Night Football game, you get home at 2 a.m. That doesn't sound right, but that's how it is. It's crazy.
Right.
All right,
hey, Naomi's going to the DeYoung Museum instead of watching the game. Go for it, Naomi.
Shout out to DeYoung. I love the DeYoung. Hey, while you're going to the DeYoung, Naomi, stop by the roller disco crew on 7th and Fulton, right off 7th and Fulton.
Yep.
They have that little, and it happens every Sunday. They still do roller disco with the tune box. It's so much fun. So go check it out. All right, Tony, some sports notes before we dive into the matters at hand today. First of all, the Warriors last night, they lose. LeBron went off. LeBron had 42, 17 boards. Steph had a big night with 37, but really no one else helping him out. Jimmy Butler did not play. I believe, will make his debut tomorrow, Tony, in Chicago. And I look forward to it. Dude, after all this kind of gripping and concern and worry, everything I've heard from Jimmy Butler so far is extremely positive. He's talking about happy to be part of dude, he's talking championships.
Yeah,
I know. Championship on the way, like very matter-of-factly, championship on the way. So
obviously he listened to our show and took our advice about
naturally
like backing off and maybe just kind of joining the party and saying, this is your party, you guys built it, and I'm going to join the party. But taking jersey number 10, by the way, I was trying to think of old Dubs wearing jersey number 10, and Tim Hardaway was number 10. I think David Lee, was number 10 for the Dubs.
Well, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So anyways, he's taking jersey 10. I'm excited too. I just knock on wood as I say this, man. Just
Hey.
like because Draymond got teed up last night. His first game back.
I saw him.
He's already back to getting technical fouls.
Yeah,
dude.
he ain't messing around. No, do you see him throw that dude to the floor on that screen, dude? I was like, damn, Draymond, that's pretty blatant.
I love the way he plays. And,
me too.
Oh, David Lee was 11. Thank you for the aspiring botanist. You're right.
Hey, you were close, buddy.
11.
I'll shout out other great 10s in Niner history. Jimmy Garoppolo, and then jumping over to baseball, shout out the man himself, sons of Johnny Lee. Yeah, yep. John LeMaster, number 10. Anyway, Creative Tony. So
also Pearl Jam 10. We can't forget Pearl Jam 10.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one. How about the little known 70s band? I can't even name one track by them. 10cc. Okay.
Ooh,
10cc. Yeah, they had a famous ballad. I can't remember the name of it. And you would know it. It was like a huge hit. I remember that was the name of the band, 10cc. All right. Anyway, so there's your Dubs update. We'll see Jimmy Butler tomorrow. NFL notes, Tony, real quick. You ready for this before we dive Super Bowl? Are you ready for football in Australia and Ireland? Because that's where it's gone. Dude, Goodell, I really think Goodell would like to have a team in London. He's trying to globalize the brand. So the Rams will play a game in Australia. By the way, the Rams are the home team in Australia. That's in 26. And then this year, the Pittsburgh Steelers are now scheduled to host a game in Ireland. So
I mean, I guess it's cool. I don't know. I'm wondering about the players' union, like how they feel about this.
Oh, it sucks.
But then I think, well, maybe it's like a I don't know, a vacation for their families or something. I don't know. How could the players be psyched about it?
No, they're not. They can't be psyched about it. And that, by the way, that's a home game. So if I'm a season ticket holder, what? I just get screwed out of a game now because you guys are going over to Ireland? Like, that sucks. Think about the fans in Pittsburgh who buy season tickets. They just got screwed out of a home game. I don't like it.
Right. No, that's a great point. There's so few of them, right? And you know how much we love Levi's and how much we can't wait to get back to Levi's. So,
by the way, Patty from Napa, that's why you're queen of the scene. She's all over it. I'm not in love, so don't forget it.
Nice.
A lot of warm keyboards on that one. Thank you, Patty. You're all over it. I'm
also, Mark Graves, he says David Lee Ward did wear number 10.
I think he did. I think David Lee did.
All good. I'm gonna back that up. Yeah.
Let me get let me get my broken David Lee bobblehead to confirm. Stand by.
Please bring it over. While Paulie's doing that, I'm gonna tell y'all we got bookmarks coming up. We got rags coming up. We have our Super Bowl prop bets. We got some fun ass prop bets we're gonna look up and tell you guys about that. We're gonna lay some money on one of these, and we got the musical assignment and particle picks as well.
Big T, check this one out. So when my kids were little, I used to bring home all the Warrior bobbleheads to them. Look, they did a number on David Lee, boy. You ready for it? Where do you see David Lee's head? Look at this.
Oh,
his head is.
That's the best.
But anyway, I can now confirm David Lee Ward number 10.
There it is.
Look at this, dude.
Oh, that's the best.
Anyway, his head has been ransacked here. It's off the spring. But anyway, shout out David Lee. Don't forget how important David Lee was to the early development of Steph Curry. For real. They had a really tight bond. Yep. And that thing Steph Curry does before every game where he runs underneath the basket, touches the pole, and then walks back. He used to do that with David Lee every game, and he still does it to this day. It's like a little ritual. I like that.
I wonder where David Lee is now. He's like quietly away from the game, and good for him, man.
Well, he's married to a pro tennis player. They're probably, if I was David Lee, I'd probably find myself in like Fiji on some beach with a hammock, getting ready to watch the Super Bowl, taking it easy. David Lee's a good dude. I got a lot of love for David Lee.
Me too, man. He was a Knick before the Dubs, right? Wasn't he?
He was an all-star. Yeah, he was an all-star with the Knicks. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. By the way, can I just play this because it's Friday and I'm feeling so good that it's Friday? I just want to play
do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's nice to see happy people.
It's nice to see happy people. David Lee, Eddie Vedder in that unique style of his. Yeah.
Edgar Renteria, 10. Interesting, Bradley C4. Was he number 10? I don't think he was number 10. I'll have to look that up. Do you remember number 10? Yeah.
Now I need some confirmation. Leah Phillips out here saying the David Lee bobblehead looks like me. Any truth to that, Tony? Here's a side by side. Actually, I see the resemblance myself. You know what? That's not bad. Look at I can't make my head do that though. Yeah.
That is fantastic. Oh, I love it, dude.
Yeah, my guy David Lee he's getting it done over here. All right, Creative Tony. Let's get, and by the way, final NFL note. I forgot to say congrats to Josh Allen. He's the new MVP. A lot of people are up in arms because Lamar Jackson's numbers were basically superior to Josh Allen's. Tony, in every category, every single one. I think the one that Josh Allen had him beat on was rushing touchdowns.
Rushing touchdowns, yes, exactly.
But everything else, dude, Lamar. But you know what? To be fair, I would have voted for Josh Allen this year, and that's no slight on Lamar if I had a vote, because Josh Allen, I really feel like he played like an MVP all season long. He was so driven, so determined. I really feel bad for the guy. He's one of those guys I really would like to see get a ring.
Also, you think about most valuable player. Josh Allen is the most valuable to that Bills team, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You could argue that Derrick Henry was as valuable as Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Oh, dude, John Joseph. John Joseph. What do you got? He's busting up my Friday head right now. Busting up my Friday head. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Williams. You won't see him no more. You ain't gonna see him no more. Fumbling punts in the NFC Championship. In overtime, allowing the Giants to kick a field. I still can't believe the Eli Manning Giants beat that Niner team. That was such a great Niner team.
Wasn't there a Bradshaw fumble too? That was like they called his forward progress was stopped, so that's why the fumble wasn't allowed. I'm pretty sure that happened in that game. And the running back for the Giants, Bradshaw, and also I was at that game, man.
In the rain.
In the rain. We took my mom for her birthday, and I was like, this is just brutal, dude. So
I hate the Giants' guts. The way that Rags hates the Eagles, and by the way, you guys are going to hear all about that in about 20 minutes. He's going to unload. But that's how I feel about the New York Giants. They are my nemesis, my sworn enemy. I don't care what they're doing in the standings. They can go 3-14. I still hate their guts. I just hate them. Being surrounded by Giant fans, as probably the only 49er fan in the state of New Jersey in the 1980s, that was not an easy assignment. I pulled it off, though. I survived it somehow, but it wasn't easy.
Don't bullshit me.
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger in the house?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Maybe my favorite soundbite of all time. I walk around my house saying that all the time, still to this day. Come on, don't bullshit me. It feels good to say it. Try it at home if you will. Come on.
Hey, and Paulie, I think it's time for some bookmarks. You down?
Yeah, sure. Bring them on, man. Bring on the Friday high noon bookmarks.
Time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks,
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
Look at Bookman. He's all business, by the way, dude. All business.
Is he the best?
Shout out Bookman's work. I apologize for not knowing the actor's name. I know he's an accomplished actor. Paul Thomas Anderson used him a lot. He was in Boogie Nights. He was in Magnolia. And one other Paul Thomas Anderson movie I'm forgetting. But in any case, that guy's great, T. He's a noted actor.
Best. And thank you, Dom. Thank you, Dom Peralta, for making those. And we've got more to show you later from Dom. So thank you, bud.
Yeah.
But we can go right into the bookmarks portion of the show. And we got to start off, Paulie, with John Gruden. Okay. John Gruden has some great words about Brock Purdy. So here we go. Let me set this up real quick.
Different
Rock and roll.
opinions and evaluations on what Brock Purdy is and he isn't. As a coach, an offensive guru, what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy?
They should build a statue of him in San Francisco. He covered their ass, man. They gave up 3 first-round draft choices to get a guy they got rid of. You guys have him in Dallas. And this guy's the last pick of the draft. He's taking you to the Super Bowl. He's taking you to the brink. He deserves to get paid, and I'll just leave it at that.
Look at you. How long before John Gruden? How long before he's back in the NFL, T? How long?
I don't know, man, but he's great. Look at that face.
I see it. I think he's good for football too. I'm not sure about the whole scandal he was involved. Honestly, I didn't really delve into that, so I don't know how dirty he was on that. But I knew John Gruden a little bit, and so did Tony when we worked together on the Ticket 1050. In fact, you know what? The only time I ever met Al Davis, the only time. Was when I'll tell you the story. I mean, it's not that great of a story, but it was kind of cool because I met Al Davis. So when we were like rookie puppy radio guys, this is like 1998. They told, I think it was Lee Hammer, Paulie, you got to go up to Napa and go to Raider camp and introduce yourself to all the players. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. I think there's some douchebag. I'm like walking out onto the practice field with the Oakland Raiders, and just so I did. I did what I was told. So I went up there and I found John Gruden and I was like, hey, coach, Paulie Mack, we talk on the radio. And he's like, oh, yeah, good to meet you, Paulie Mack. So we were talking for a couple of minutes. True story. All of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder and I turn around. It's freaking Al Davis. And here's what he said. Here's what he said to me. Do you mind if I talk to my coach for a moment? And I said, no, he's all yours. He's all yours, Al. And that was the extent of my back and forth with Al Davis. But the tap,
Dude.
do you mind if I talk to my head coach? Yeah.
You know what I love about that story too is you doing Hammer and Al Davis in the same story.
Well, you got to, or it wouldn't be any good without the impersonations. You know what I mean?
Can I show you this? Look at what Bradley C84 says. My buddies and I had Gruden do our fantasy football draft order this last season. It was classic. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's so
dude.
cool. Yeah.
And yes, Rising Wolf. What's up, Rising Wolf? Chucky, dude. Chucky and John Gruden separated at birth. You're damn right, dude. You're damn right. Hey, as bookmarks continue, let's roll on with bookmarks, okay?
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Hey, let's. James Winston is having a ball in New Orleans, dude. Okay, look at this guy. Here we go.
Oh, he's on the bike. Okay, yeah.
He's on the bike. Yeah, he's on the pedicab.
Let me see.
I believe I can drive this bike. I think about it every night and day.
Okay.
It's almost ran over a horse today. I believe I can soar.
Man.
You see me riding through an open door. I believe I can bike. I believe I can bike. I believe I can bike.
Hey, man. That's pretty impressive. Jameis Winston has had like one of the greatest second acts I think we've seen.
No question.
In the NFL, because a lot of people, including myself, dude, I kind of wrote him off. I mean, I really did. And suddenly he became like this poster boy for like good vibes and good energy. He's peddling cabs around down in New Orleans now. That's crazy. So I feel good about Jameis now. I do. I like
me
him.
too, dude. And everybody that in interviews, you see them talking about Jameis, and they rave about him.
Yeah,
other players in the NFL. It's so cool. Hey, moving on. I loved this because you know why I love the NBA this week? Because it's taking the spotlight off of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And can you see that? Am I showing that yet?
Blow it up.
Yeah,
I see Day. Yeah.
Okay, there's Draymond, right? But you got look at the caption of the tweet says Adam Silver staring down Goodell after depriving the Super Bowl of any attention.
By the way, don't sleep on Moses Moody over on the right. He's throwing some gangster looks too. You know what I mean? Look at Day rules, man. I don't care what anybody says. I ride with Draymond.
One more time. Yeah. Dude, is that the best? Adam Silver to Goodell saying, so much for your Super Bowl.
Well, you know what's so funny about this is Tony and I actually had like a little bit of a back and forth borderline argument earlier this week because we were talking about like before we went on the air. We're like, I told Tony, I said, hey, I got all this NBA stuff. I got Jimmy Butler news. There's Durant news. There's this, there's that, there's this. And Tony's like, it's a Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl. And I'm like, yeah, but right now the NBA is kind of leapfrog incredibly because this doesn't normally happen. But to your point, that was a pretty funny one. And that's very accurate too, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it was mostly NBA news that was leading the sports cycle. It really was.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still talking NBA today. I mean, we're stoked about Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see his debut. I know you can too. I mean, I know you're very anxious about it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shaping up to be a hell of a weekend and like you said, you're excited about the Super Bowl. So am I. I think it's going to be a damn good game.
I do too. Yeah.
Right.
The last time those two teams played, it was a damn good game. By the way, have you ever noticed that every single game the Chiefs win is always on some last-minute horse shit? Like, it's a field goal, or it's like they never win. Like, when the Niners put their foot down, what do you want, 55-10? See you later, Denver.
Yeah, dude.
These guys just barely squeak by every game, and it's frustrating as hell.
Dude, on that 55-10 note, I meant to tell this on the anniversary of that game, like last week or the week before?
Yeah.
You know, they do that. You guys used to broadcast. You and Murph used to broadcast from Tahoe, from the Edgewood Golf tournament, right? With the celebrity pro-am. So, but you can line up. You can go on the 17th hole goes along the beach. Remember that hole?
Of course.
And you can people just ride their boats up and they just dock right there, drop anchor there. So we're in a boat. And John Elway comes up to the tee box of 17 and we're yelling, Elway, and he's throwing footballs at everybody. And he's thinking that we're going to ask him to throw us a football. And all of a sudden, he finally starts waving at us, and we starts waving. Everybody in the boat starts yelling, 55-10, 55.
Dude, that's a douche move. What's the point of that? That's a douchey move.
Dude.
What did John Elway ever do to anybody? For real.
You're back in LA all of a sudden. That's hilarious.
All of a sudden, 100%. I'll tell you why. Because at that very golf tournament you're talking about, I actually walked up to him. I approached him to do a guest hit on the show. Unbelievably cool guy.
Right on.
Unbelievably cool guy. This is after Michael Jordan basically told me to go blank myself. And then true story. So I saw John Elway and I'm like, hey, maybe John Elway will come up. I'm like, hey, John Elway, KNBR, you want to? He's like, oh, yeah, man, sure, whatever you need. I was like, wow. So I've changed my tune on John Elway.
Okay.
And the guy's got a couple of rings. You guys taunting John Elway. Leave Elway alone. You want to taunt somebody, taunt the Muppet, bro. That's who we need to taunt. Coming up on the show, Rags with his top 3 reasons, the worst Super Bowl matchup of all time. Also, particle pick of the week. We also have the musical assignment, and we're going to try and send everybody into the weekend on a good vibe. And by the way, I hope you guys are enjoying a cocktail or a little herbal delish as we get our high noon happy hour vibe happening today. Creative Tony, what do you got, pal?
And we got prop bets, and I have one more bookmark I want to show you about. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is because you can tell people what you're doing tomorrow, but let's watch let's watch this first.
Okay.
I'm going to set it up here. There's your guy.
That's Paul Stanley of Kith. Yeah. Nice.
Right.
Look at him. What's he doing? Breaking off moves?
So watch. Here he is. He's at the premiere of the Led Zeppelin movie that I think you're going to see tomorrow. Correct.
Yeah.
Stand by. Here we go.
I wouldn't be here without them. I wouldn't be who I am without them. I first saw Zeppelin in '69.
Jesus.
And it kind of showed me how great something can be.
Nice.
And whether or not you can reach that, it's like sports or anything else. When you see greatness, it inspires you.
Dude, bravo, Paul Stanley.
That?
Bravo. See, that guy, I'll tell you what, you might be surprised, even if you're not a Kiss fan, whatever, it's cool. But I will say this. Paul Stanley is like a musical historian. He's talked extensively about growing up in New York City, seeing Led Zeppelin, seeing Sly and the Family Stone, all these unbelievable artists like that, and how it affected him. And yeah, I know he's a monster Zeppelin. Imagine that, just casually throwing that up. Yeah, I saw Zeppelin in '69. You know, it was some
outrageous.
That's the thing. I'm too young to have seen Zeppelin. Tony's too young to have seen Zeppelin, and I've only met. Like, I can count on one hand the people I've met that have seen Zeppelin, and every single one of them, including our former colleague, Radio Hall of Famer Steven Seaweed, my buddy Barry from Red Devil Records, who, dude, this one blows. Barry, like, casually tosses up. No, I saw Zeppelin at the LA Forum on the Physical Graffiti tour. I'm like, bro, you're killing me. But anybody who's ever seen Zeppelin says it was like a life-changing kind of atmosphere. Like, they play 3 to 4 hours a gig.
Dude,
really never knew what was going to happen, and
I couldn't even imagine. I can't, like, the magnitude and the power of that music. Seeing it live, right?
Yeah,
I
felt
that way. I felt that way seeing Rush when I saw Rush, and it was like that music is it's such a force.
Yeah,
and I remember saying to you, Paulie, when we were at the Rush show, that I cannot believe that this sound is coming from just 3 people.
Yeah, it's massive.
Right. And if you do 4 people with Zeppelin, if I can go back in time, Zeppelin would be one of the show's top 3 if I can go back in time to witness.
Well,
take me back to Kezar, dude. Take me to Kezar. Zeppelin playing at Kezar. That's outrageous.
Yeah, no, it's outrageous. And how insane is it that at one point in the show, a freaking white dove landed on Robert Plant's hand? He's like,
crazy.
oh, look, I've got a dove in my hand. And he's smoking a butt. I mean, that's like 70s rock and roll at its best. Robert Plant with the dove at Kezar Stadium. And by the way, if you're wondering why we're talking Zeppelin, there is a brand new, it's the first ever, the band has blessed this. So it has their blessing. It's a documentary about Led Zeppelin, and it premieres, I think, tonight, and it's being shown in IMAX theaters. So my buddy Dressy got me a ticket. Pardon me. And we're going to check it out tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that, T. Okay, any other bookmarks, or should we bring in,
you know what? This is an impromptu bookmark, but I'm gonna show it. Hang on one sec, just because you mentioned it, P.
Yeah.
Let's get there, man. Let's check this, dude. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh,
there's the
boom.
dove. I mean, look at
that.
that.
How does that happen? Oh, it's
is that insane?
I know. It's almost like too good to be true. The epitome of hippie rock and roll in the 70s. I think that kind of encapsulates everything. Look at the one on the top with his back to him, just holding the dove, bro.
Yep.
Hold
Yep.
on. Tony, quick question. When was the last time a dove flew into your hand? Just a question.
How about never?
Yeah,
Although
same
I
here.
will say, at the San Francisco Zoo, I was eating a hot dog as a kid, and a seagull came down and took the hot dog out of my hand.
Well, it's
And
not quite the same thing, though, is it? Yeah.
It scared
Yeah.
the living
Yeah.
what out of me, dude. But yeah, I've never had a dove land on me. No,
I
so,
wish I did. I wish I had that kind of good fortune, but doves, they've avoided me my entire life. Is it time to bring in our special guest?
It is time, and I want to make sure we get to some prop bets too. We can do it with Rags because there are some funny ass prop bets that I know you'll be interested in, and we'll keep our interest in the game as well.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, stand by. Let me play first. Let me just get to the show, the open for Tony's top 3 as we bring Rags in. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Sound good?
Tony's top 3.
Yeah.
Tony's top 3. That's 2. Tony's top 3. Yeah. All right, everybody. This is why we tune in. This is why we do what we do. We go right to the source of the matter. And the source of the matter is my main man, Rags, checking in from Florham Park, New Jersey. Yes, he's on the East Coast. He and I have been joined at the hip since I was like 12 years old, and it still exists that way today. You've heard him on the Murph and Mac show. His stylings have been all over the Bay Area at one time or another. And now he's a regular on the Paulie Mac Particle show. So, Rags, welcome back. It's a big day, brother. I hate the Chiefs' guts, but I know you have a special presentation for us today. So let's explain. Yeah, thank you, Creative Tony. Creative Tony, we reached out to Rags and said, listen, I know you hate the Eagles. I hate the Chiefs with a blinding passion. And let's talk about this maybe being the worst matchup in Super Bowl history in terms of two teams that most of America despises. But yet that's the situation we find ourselves in. So, Rags, I'm going to give the and by the way, how you doing today, brother? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I was, I was thinking about your Deep-Brew show the other night, and one of the things I love about your show is just like, boom, you guys throw one word out there, everybody in the comments section just bing, bang, boom, boom.
Yeah, right. Bing, bang, boom. Yeah.
Bing, bang, boom. So I was going to enter and say, hi, I'm here for the gangbang.
yeah. Right here, dude. Yeah.
Name the movie.
Oh, that's old school. Yeah.
Old school.
We're talking old school.
Hey, by the way, a little trivia for you, Rags. Do you know who that guy is? Who comes to the door and says, I'm here for the game? You know who that is?
No, he looks like that dude you went to high school with who played the drums next to you.
Oh, Bergamo?
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Bergamo. Yeah, shout out Steve. No, that's not Steve Bergamo, although I'm a Bergamo head. Shout out Steve Bergamo. Right. This is that was Todd Phillips. That's the guy who made the movie. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but the reason, so when you guys had Damon on, who I absolutely loved, my first time ever seeing him, I was thinking about old school. And do you guys realize that you guys have essentially created a fraternity here?
I'm glad. That's what I'm trying to do. I love this.
It's like an all-inclusive fraternity.
Yes.
Older, younger, men, women.
Come on in. Yeah, we don't care. Come on in. Yeah.
And it's funny because I come in and I see Don Peralta, Noemi, Leah, Miguel, Marcel, and John Joseph. I know you're out there.
Yeah.
When I get out to California, we got to hook up, man.
I feel that way about John Joseph too. John Joseph's got a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Fast enough. Of course, Winks we went to high school with, Hutch we went to high school with. So I mean this, and I told you last time, this really is the best part of my day. You know?
Well, thanks, Rags. We love you. Hey, listen, the Bay Area loves Rags. Hashtag the Bay loves Rags. That's a true story. Yeah.
I'm getting nothing done at work. I swear to God, I might lose my job. That's why I have to plug Longbridge Pizza, because when I get canned from my job, I'm coming out to deliver pizzas for Neil.
You got it, brother. We'll get the Rags mobile ready so you can deliver the pies. Yeah.
Hey, Rags, I gotta ask you, does your shirt say something about Des Bryant?
It's funny you said that. Because I figured we would touch on the officials today a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And nobody out there realizes that this is the 10-year anniversary of when I got boned by the ref.
I remember that game. I remember exactly where I was.
Me and my friends, we all made up these shirts and walked around town with them.
Oh, nice. Yes, he did, dude. Yes,
and he did. And he
did.
He
came out 3 years later and said, oh, you know what? We're sorry. He did catch it.
Then all's forgiven. Thanks so much. Thanks for the apology. That does me a lot of good now. You know what I mean? So Rags, let's get to it, dude. I know you've been working on your. Now, are we doing 3 or 4, Rags? It's entirely
like
up to you.
3.5, 4
Okay,
minus. I mean, it's around there. I mean, getting right into it. We could say number 1. We can go backwards. Here's what hurts me the most about the Super Bowl is the first time ever. I have nobody to root for.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, this is like I feel like I'm like asexual, like in this.
Right.
Super Bowl.
Right. Like a seahorse, Rags. Like a seahorse without
seahorse.
any genitalia of either sex. Right. Exactly.
So
Rags,
I've been sitting around, and again, using movie references, I've been sitting around all week. If you guys remember that movie War Games from 1984?
Of course.
Yeah. So I feel like the Whopper computer, the one, and I'm just running all these scenarios, hundreds of scenarios of who to root for and why. And I keep coming up with the same answer. There's no winner, at least in my mind. So that's my first movie reference.
Go
my
ahead.
second movie reference, and I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible for you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
If you guys remember Shawshank Redemption, which everybody knows Shawshank.
Yeah.
I feel like Andy Dufresne. Okay. I feel like I'm getting chased around the prison by the sisters and Bob. Okay?
Yeah. Right.
Finally, Boggs corners me in the laundry room, and you know what? I have no other choice. He wants me to please him. I got to do one of 2 things.
I know. No, it's a tough spot. That's a tough spot for everybody.
Either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And listen, I got to choose one. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be too psyched about it. So same with the Super Bowl. Like I got to look myself in the mirror the next day and say, "Oh, Boggs." And that's like, I don't know who to listen. I hate the Eagles, and I don't think the Chiefs belong there. I think they got gifted, this position. Okay.
I like where you're going, Rags. I like your opening statements.
I mean, it's brutal. And the Chiefs, I mean, what bums me out about them is they used to be like just this kind of like neutral team that everybody
they were like Sweden. They were like Switzerland or something.
Remember the Nigerian nightmare?
Oh,
yes.
dude, Rags, listen, Joe Montana went over there and took them to an AFC championship. Back in those days, it was like, the Chiefs, they're cool. Nobody had a problem with the Chiefs.
Christian Okoye, dude. I love that you brought up
Nigerian
Christian
Nightmare.
Okoye,
Yeah.
that guy was
a
amazing.
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and only Paulie knows this, Winks might know this, is we used to be the cigar guys for the NFL, me and a couple guys back in the night. And when you guys and Damon Bruce were talking about New Orleans the other night, I actually lived in New Orleans for 2 months for Super Bowl 31.
I don't know how you survived that in one piece.
That's where I met Ronnie Lott.
Dude, 2 months?
2 months. We had a cigar bar in the lobby of the Sheraton on Canal Street.
Hey, Tony. No, go ahead, Rex. Go ahead.
We were the dudes, man. I mean, also, if you remember in the 90s, like everybody smoked cigars. Women, children, men, cigar aficionado. And my job for 2 years was to drink and smoke cigars with NFL players. And
that's really your gig. That's like your dream gig. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were too good at it. And we went bankrupt, but.
Yeah, also, by the way, Orleans, though.
And James Hutchinson brings up another great Chief, Derek Thomas, back in those days.
No doubt.
Guys are talking about,
no doubt,
right?
Yeah, Derek Thomas.
So they were this like Steve Bono at QB, Montana at QB, Alex Smith was the Chief, and now all of a sudden I can't stand him. So I don't know, and I don't want them to get their 5th ring and tie the Niners.
Oh hell no, dude!
Right.
Hell, and I don't want them to be the first team in NFL history to 3.
That's the thing.
If
they have 5, then the Niners have 5, the Cowboys have 5, and the Chiefs have 5. And Paulie's been saying this for a few weeks, and I can't even use the D word, D-Y. I don't even want to say it. They are not, in my opinion, a dynasty team. The Niners were, the Cowboys were, the Patriots were. I mean, these guys.
And the Steelers of the 70s.
Yeah. Listen, man, I took a couple beatings from them in the South. I remember that.
Everybody did. Yeah.
So,
here we are now, though, Reg. So wheels are in motion, and I'm ready for it. So let's give it to me now. Give me your top.
And then
3
the other
reasons.
thing is, it's bad enough that we got to see these dudes on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. But now we have the oversaturation of the commercials. We have State Farm.
Fumblerooski. Go blank yourself. Go blank yourself with the
Doritos. So it's the oversaturation of these guys in the commercials and Jason Kelsey and Mama Kelsey. I don't want to hear. There's a complete sports blackout in my house this week, and there will be after the game too. So I mean, I'm watching like the Home Shopping Network.
Nice, Rex. Nice.
I can't see anymore. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what. If I was Liberty Mutual, that insurance company, if I wanted to pick up customers, and I'm always thinking about marketing and sales, if I wanted to pick up customers, I would put an ad out there saying to all State Farm policyholders, today only, we will give you a 10% discount for switching over to us if you're sick of seeing Mahomes. So I bet you they would get a lot of business.
Nice. Nice. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
Oh man.
so that's number 2. Number 3 really is, and we've beat this into the ground all week long. I can't see Taylor Swift anymore.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Nobody
no.
cares about you. Paul, you gave an over under a 4, I think. I'll say.
Well, this is okay. So that's just to clarify that Rags is talking about what we mentioned the other day, which is the over under on the number of times the camera will go away from the game, because who cares about the Super Bowl when Taylor Swift is sitting with Kelsey's mom? Like, I give a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but the over under, I think we set that at 4, right, Rags?
You had 4. I got 8 in my head. But
wow.
Yeah. But because, and this is the thing, we all know about the collusion with the refs and the Chiefs getting them here. I truly believe that there is some genius 3 years ago sitting in NFL headquarters at 410 Park Avenue in their marketing department and said, hey, if we want to increase viewership, let's somehow inject Taylor Swift into this scene. Because then you get all the younger teenage girls, and then you get all the moms, and that's, and you've seen it. I mean, everybody's like a huge Chiefs fan because of that.
Yeah, I just, you know what I mean? Rags, check this out. Tony told me, Creative Tony, my main man, told me he heard a rumor that I don't know, Tony, you want to tell him about the Kelsey rumor you heard? Tell Rags this.
It's more like a speculation. People are just wondering that if the Chiefs were to win the game, would Kelsey drop on a knee and propose? And it's like,
I told Tony when he said that would be the first time there would be mass projectile vomiting happening all over the United States of America. I'd get sick. If that happens, I will be sick to my stomach. I promise you.
Well, it's coming. I mean, listen, these guys are marketing geniuses, man. So
I mean, they and every time he catches a pass in the Super Bowl, they'll show her.
Yay! Look,
exactly.
Yay!
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that Caitlin Clark's up there, but you know what?
I like Caitlin Clark too. I like that too. But you know what though, Rex? Where's Joan Jett? You know what I mean? Why can't he date somebody? Show me Chrissy Hine from the Pretenders.
I'll go back to your Super Bowl 16. Show me John Candy.
Exactly.
John Candy.
Give me John Candy. John Candy greater than Taylor Swift in my book, 100%. Yeah,
100%. Man.
And you know what's crazy too, Rags, is like before all this, I had nothing against Taylor Swift, and my daughter was into her for a little bit, and her friends, and I was like, and good female role model for a lot of people. And then I'm like, okay, but enough. I have had it with the Kelseys. I've had it with Taylor Swift. It's oversaturation.
Yeah.
I've got Kelsey Swift fatigue.
We all do. I mean, this is what happens. They've been force feeding us images of the Kelseys, and Taylor Swift, and Muppet the Mahomes, or whatever his name is. Enough. Enough is enough. People can't take it anymore. So, Rags, I'm glad you're like sympathetic to my plight.
Oh, I know. I know your plight. You know what? It's fine. I think, what did Noemi say? She's going to the zoo or the museum or something?
She's going to the museum tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about giving myself a colonoscopy Sunday afternoon.
That sounds like a good time.
With no sedative. I would probably enjoy it more than having to watch this before.
Self-administered colonoscopy.
Right on. I mean,
look at this.
All the way up from there, like the baby reindeer. I'm going to give myself a baby reindeer.
right.
You know?
I got you, buddy.
I'm sorry. You know what? Because now I'm getting pissed. I just can't. And the other thing is, and for me, this has nothing to do with you or your friends out there. I mean, Paul, you know what I do every year when the Cowboys miss the playoffs. Tony, I do this thing called the wagon. Now, I don't say dry January because that's like foofy, like, I'm doing dry January. I do what I call the pain wagon. It started 10 years ago when the Cowboys got knocked out of the playoffs by the Eagles. I drank a bottle of vodka that night. I got really hungover. I didn't drink until my birthday. I made a bet with myself that I'll keep doing it until the Cowboys win the Super Bowl.
And by the way, let it be known that the way
I've not drank since New Year's Eve.
We got to paint a complete picture of who Rags is, like who's the man behind the mystique. And I'll tell you this much: the way that you would associate, like the Bay Area Rags, kind of associate, and with good reason, they associate me with the herbal delish movement that goes on. You know, I'm an enthusiast. I'm a proponent. It's legalized now here in California. That's the way they associate Rags with a nice drink or two. Rags has been known to have a cocktail, 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Yeah.
Dozen. I have an aluminum 16-ounce Miller Lite bottle can in the fridge, and that will sit there until the wagon's over. But right now, today's what? So the 7th of February. Today's day 38.
You go, today's
Wow.
what? Today's what?
Wow.
Where
Tony,
am I?
last year, Tony,
Yeah.
Tony, last year, once the Cowboys jerked each other off again, on January 17th, I started the wagon. I went till July 31st. I went 198 days. And it's nothing more than just discipline and just pain and anger.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I've gone through. Paulie. I've said to Paulie this whole month, I'm in a Niner depression because the Niners aren't in the postseason. When the Niners
I am so like I'm so drained and I'm so exhausted of my team. And I know we all have our own problems. But the more I hang out with you guys, and I love your commentary, and I love I love the fans and the people in the comment section. And the more I hear about the Niners, I was actually laughing to myself the other day when I got off. And you guys all know that that term, bi-curious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there and I said to myself, shit, Rags, you might be becoming Niner curious.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
You know,
nice,
like,
nice.
because I want
Niner
to know.
curious. Yeah, you
I'm
want to
a
explore.
little-
Rags wants to explore what's going on the other side.
Well,
yeah.
lots to explore, dude.
I'm a little Niner curious. I just want to maybe dip my toe in the water, see what's going on. And then,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
anyway,
well,
I know you guys,
yeah. Go
I
ahead,
know
Ray.
you guys are on the time clock, so. And then we'll get to Melissa Etheridge after this last comment.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I asked her to get involved. I didn't ask for Melissa Etheridge to get
my
involved.
Let this sink in. So we're talking about actually leading up, watching it. Now, my last thought, and I was really thinking about this hard, is the final outcome of this.
Yeah.
We are going to have to live with this for an effing year. We're either going to have to hear about the greatest team ever with a three-peat.
Oh,
and three-peat.
Dynasty, or, and maybe we've been bashing the Chiefs too much today. The Eagles, we're going to hear from them. I mean, we hear from them already. We've been hearing from them since they were like created.
No, it's like a no-win. It's like a no-win situation.
It's the Kobayashi Maru of football.
Go ahead, Tony.
I was gonna say, if the Eagles win, I'm turning off the TV as soon as they win because I don't want to see Sirianni post game.
No. By the way, last thing with Rags before we let Rags get into his weekend. Rags, I'll just ask you. Let's just create some odds right now. How many camera shots of Fat Dom will there be? And I'm not even kidding when I ask this question. If the Eagles win the Lombardi Trophy, will Fat Dom be up on the platform with the team? I say yes.
He's got to protect Sirianni.
Yeah.
From what?
I say yes. I'd say at least 4 shots of him during the game.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's when my guy Dre Greenlaw tried to choke him out when he started getting involved. He pushed Dre Greenlaw, who, by the way, Regs, is not a guy you want to mess around with. I've hung out with him.
Yeah.
This is a very strong, fast man. And do you remember that game when Fat Dom got into it with Dre Greenlaw? Like,
I do.
Why is he getting involved? Why is he even on the sideline? Dude, get the hell out of here, Fat boy.
I don't get it. All I know, this is just it's a no-win scenario for all of us.
Yep.
You know, the only people who, you know, it's a win for is a Chiefs fan or the Eagles fans. You know, for everybody else, I mean, everybody in the NFC hates the Eagles. You know, I've hated them since the dawn of time. You know, growing up into college, I was in Pennsylvania I went to school in Allentown, Pennsylvania. 86 to 90, the worst 4 years the Cowboys had. Oh boy. I got just berated. It was bad. It was a bad.
I bet. And I looked it up. I thought the Eagles had more Super Bowl titles. They only had one.
No, just the one. They've been to a few, but they only won the one. Yeah,
and they've had a lot of good teams over the years. That's why I was surprised there was only one.
They're usually relevant. Eagles are usually relevant in one way or another. But you know, that's. Go ahead, T.
No, a couple things for Rags before he starts his weekend. Yeah. By the way, Rags, thanks, dude, for coming on, man, and thanks.
I love it, and thank you, and thank you for. My wife literally thinks I have Tourette's now. I mean, I'll literally be walking around the house going, Tony, top 3.
And
Rags.
Yeah.
But I'll fuck around with the pause and I'll add in there. Tony, top 3.
Nice.
And Paulie knows my wife Tracy, and she's like, what is
Tracy rules. Tracy's been through a lot. God bless her. Yeah.
And what are the odds? Your wife Tracy probably doesn't call you Rags, I assume, yeah?
No, they call him Tony.
No. Tony, does your wife call you Creative Tony? I don't think so. Yeah,
but they'll call her Mrs. Rags where I play golf.
Nice.
And my kids will call them like Little Rags, and nobody wants a part of it because, you know, there's some darkness behind it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of darkness.
I've been meaning to apologize to you, Tony, but I know you wanted the polar bear, and he's staying with my wife's Mets.
Oh
Yeah.
I wanted.
I'm not
I wanted
surprised, though.
Alonso.
Rex,
Yeah.
the Giants they just been sitting around on their hands. They brought in I'm not surprised by that at all. You guys enjoy the polar bear. You know what?
Listen, once this game's over this Sunday, I don't even want to. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm going into hibernation. And you know what? The only thing I have to look forward to right now is the draft. And I see these like mock drafts because I'm on every Cowboy site ever. Here we're gonna get. Shut up, man. I've had enough. I'm so upset.
Yeah, look at Rags. He's all
Rags.
worn out. Yeah.
Also, Rags, about your T-shirt, dude. There is a Wikipedia page. I just found it called "Dez Caught It." It's a whole It's a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to that catch or no catch.
His arm was under the ball when it hit the turf, and then the ball ended up on his chest. I watched it.
You know what, dude? You know what his biggest mistake was? His biggest mistake, the reason they didn't grant him possession of the ball, I've studied this extensively. Yes, his hand was under the ball, but the reason he was not awarded the catch was he was not wearing a Kansas City Chief jersey.
Yeah.
That's
right, Paulie. If that catch to Xavier Worthy was a catch,
they count it twice. They'd say that's good for 14. Yeah. Give
they
him
would
14.
They would have just given them the 2-point conversion after. Don't even worry about it. We'll talk.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we just give them a couple of those as well. Hey, Rags, we love you so much. Thanks for coming on. Happy Friday. And this ain't the last
comment section. Love you guys.
And Rags, one more thing. We're going to talk prop bets too, Paulie and I, but I wanted to let you know there is a prop bet about Taylor Swift. It says, what happens first, a touchdown or a Taylor Swift live shot? The odds are better for the touchdown. You get better odds with Taylor Swift. It's plus 110. So I was like, damn, dude, I think I might. If you put $100 down on that, you win 110. It's minus 150 for a touchdown to happen first. I was like, I'm surprised at that, but there's a prop bet out there for it.
And do me a favor too, in a little bit. Can you guys just bash Melissa Etheridge for me?
I got you. I
saw that, and just stick to come to my window or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you. I didn't ask her to get involved. I
I've been sitting there, and I was so pissed off thinking about it on the way home, and I started creating this own song in my head. I'm like, you sound like a bimbo. Jump out your window.
It's not a bad rhyme scheme, actually. It's not bad.
Nobody asked you.
Yeah. Rag,
I love you, boy.
Peace, man. Have a great weekend. We'll talk soon, brother.
I'll talk to you all weekend. Tony, love you.
Yeah, I love you too, Rag.
Wait, really quick?
Yeah.
Free Murph.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, on that note, dude, check it out. Hang on one sec. Because Dom Peralta is your guy, Rags. Here we go. Boom, I'm just going to share that real quick.
It's a strong image, man.
Dom's the best, man.
Yeah.
Dom is the best.
Look at that.
Dom's like our unofficial art director. I love it.
He
does great work, too. All right, everybody. That is Rags from
Love
Florham Park, New Jersey.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah,
too,
Rags.
We'll talk
soon, weekend.
Yeah, Rags is always good for some entertaining discourse on the program. No question about it.
Incredible.
So here we
love
are.
His line. Hey, Melissa Etheridge, can you just stick to come to my window?
You know what I didn't like about it is like the whole song. She's like taunting non-chief and telling us, "Oh, just deal with it because you're going to take it on the." It's like you don't taunt me, Melissa Etheridge. I don't even really want her getting involved in my my football kind of universe. But anyway, here she is. That's another Chiefs fan. Yeah.
Murph asked us about it. What was that, on Monday or whenever we had Murph on?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
And God, that seems like a long time ago. I was like, Melissa Etheridge has always been like, I've been indifferent about her.
Totally.
And all of a sudden, now I'm like, oh.
Now I'm anti. Now I'm anti-Etheridge. You know what I mean?
We're telling me to deal with it.
Yeah. Cut the S. All right, T. So here we are in the back stretch now. So let's get it. Let's do your prop bets. Then we'll do the musical assignment, and then we can end on the particle pick of the week and send everybody into the weekend. So rock and roll. Bookmark me or excuse me, I'm sorry, a prop bet me, T.
So, dude, I told you about the Taylor Swift one, right? Which I like. That's what happens first, a touchdown or a Taylor Swift live shot.
Can I would like to tell you for the record, I would actually take Taylor Swift before I would take that bet. They're going to show Taylor Swift before a touchdown is scored.
Agreed. Yeah. I totally agree with you. And it's plus 110. So they're actually thinking a touchdown is going to happen first, which is interesting. Here's the one, Paulie. This is going to get you.
Go.
The odds of Philly getting called for a roughing the passer penalty.
Here we go.
Plus 170. You can get good odds on that, dude. I think we definitely need to take that. It's plus 170. So you put 100 down, you win 170. There's a strong chance of that, especially the way Mahomes plays the freaking game.
He's such a douchebag. Is there an over-under on number of roughing penalties in the game?
I didn't see an over-under for that, but I also saw a team to be penalized first for roughing the passer.
Oh, that'll be the Eagles. I'd bet my house on it. I'd bet,
yeah,
I'd
so
bet
that's
everything I have on that. Yeah.
They think Philly minus 160. So they think the odds in the favor of Philly being called for first, KC plus 120. So those are the three pop bets. And then also Jalen Hurts, because they do the tush push all the time.
Yeah.
2 rushing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts is plus 550, dude. So if they're down at the goal line, I could see that.
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's but
Right?
I don't know. That's assuming there will be 2 goal to go situations for the Eagle offense in the game.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I hear you. If they do get down there, they're certainly going to execute the tush push. And by the way, for the record, for all of our friends, I don't have a problem with Jalen Hurts. I will say that.
No.
I actually like the guy. I like the way he carries himself. I like the way he plays the game. I love his toughness. And I also love like his demeanor. Like doesn't show you anything. And I like that.
He's a cool
about
cat,
him.
man. He's a cool cat.
He is. And he's a real competitor. So I despite of all the Eagles like hating all that stuff, I do like Jalen Hurts.
I actually overheard my wife and my daughter talking about how handsome Jalen Hurts is as well. So he has that going for him too.
I would actually be the third on that. I think he's a pretty good looking dude. As we're actually talking about exploring different ideas, I could explore that side of my personality at some point too.
Look at Robot Centaur, by the way. Take every bet that includes the Chiefs and the refs.
Yeah, man. It's unbelievable. How about pass interference calls? Let's not leave out Mahomes' favorite way to advance the ball down the field. Forget about first downs. Just get a PI call. I wonder what the over-under on pass interference will be.
Or who gets called for it first. I'll have to look that up. I also looked up Saquon Barkley prop bets real quick, Paulie.
Okay, good.
Over under 112 and a half yards rushing. What would you take?
I'm sorry, Tony. Say it one more time.
Over under 112 and a half yards rushing.
I'm feeling ballsy. I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I would take the over too.
Because
I think
breaks
the Eagles.
the
Eagles win the game. The Eagles win the game if he rushes well, right?
Yeah, and look what he did in the NFC Championship. I think it was his first carry of the game. He took it to the house. I mean, these guys. He breaks usually at least one big one per game, and then there's all the other runs on top of that. So I would actually go over 112. I would.
And dude, like I think that honestly, like they don't want him to break a 65, 70 yarder. Remember Matt Mayoko, who joined us yesterday? By the way, thank you, Matt. That was
great. Matt's the best, man.
If you missed it yesterday, go back to our YouTube page and at Paulie's Max Particles and watch Mayoko. He breaks it down. I'm a huge Mayoko fan. And by the way, the USF Dons. How about those Dons last night? They beat the Gales by 1.
Finally.
65-64.
USF.
Great, dude. Great stuff. Now they're 15-0 at home, and that snapped St. Mary's 18 road win streak. So how about that, dude?
It was abusive. I mean, the way St. Mary's has been beaten on USF for so long now, it's only right that the Dons finally get one on the hilltop, dude. Again, big supporter of USF basketball. I'm very happy with that. And I got no problem with St. Mary's. I like St. Mary's too, but I'm a Dons guy first and foremost. Like I grew up in the city, lived in the city more than half my life. Nice. So I will always have USF green running through my my veins, Steve.
Hey, last prop bet, by the way, before we move on, is over or under Saquon Barkley 21 and a half carries. Over or under?
Oh boy, I'm going under.
Right?
I'm going under.
Okay. All right.
I'll say about 18, 19, something like that.
Under. All right. I think I'm just gonna go over. Well, I don't know.
Take it, dude. They can run the ball all day. That's like
that number. That's why Vegas is crazy with the numbers, man.
Shout out Ace Rothstein in Casino, Robert De Niro's character. He places all the odds like he's an expert. Like it's fascinating. It really is. It's like a science. These guys they know what the hell they're doing. I don't know how, but they know.
Not to geek out too much on cinematography, but the scene in the desert when Pesci and De Niro meet out in the desert and you see the scene from De Niro's glasses.
Scorsese. Yep. That's Scorsese. It's incredible. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
It's some of the best cinematography I've ever seen anywhere.
That's my guy, Marty. Getting it done. Yeah.
That should have been my particle pick of the week. But hey, we got something else in store.
Yeah.
So there's some prop bets for you. I'm gonna try and look up while you're talking, Paulie. I'm gonna try and look up pass interference calls too. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, how many more prop bets do we have?
No, we're good. That's good. I think that's good. Yeah, I think we're good.
So what are we doing? Musical assignment now?
We can do particle pick or musical assignment. Your call, buddy. What do you want to do first?
I think you go musical assignment first. Let's go musical assignment first. And by the way, if you're new to the show, here's what we do. This is a tradition of ours from the Polymac podcast, which we used to do on KMBR. Tony and I did it for 7 or 8 years with Shannon Kaler, and we would end every week's episode by using what we call a musical assignment, where we say take something relevant in the sports world, and then we assign like some relevant angle where a song can be connected, if you follow all that. So Creative Tony, lay it out before me. What do you got today for the musical assignment?
Oh man, so thinking about the Super Bowl, we have to just do it based around the Super Bowl is what I thought. And so you can do a song or band from Philly, a song about Philly or a band from Philly, or a song about KC or a song or a band from KC, or something New Orleans related.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That is the assignment. Broad again. The rules are there ain't no rules, so we can just kind of.
We're racing for pinks, all of it. Yeah,
we're racing for pinks. Exactly.
Right.
So I went first.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you, Tony. Just this is the way my head works. Before I lose the idea, any chance I can encourage you to cut the sound from Crater Face saying the rules are there ain't no rules, and maybe start using that on the musical assignment? Like, I'm not sure why we wouldn't want to share that with the listeners. You know what I mean?
Consider it done, dude. I just made a note for Monday's show. We will have it.
And remember this about Crater Face. Before they take before they drag race, he comes out, the leather collar is popped up so high, he almost looks like Count Dracula. And then he's got like spikes on the shoulder of his leather jacket. It's like studded. I remember that scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I don't know. That guy, dude. Crater Face scared me. Yeah.
And what was the name of the Scorpions, right?
Yeah, the Scorpions with the fire coming out of the exhaust pipe. Remember when they pull away, they're shooting flames. Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh, my God. That's just incredible.
I know. But that's all. I'm part of the Grease community. I can't help it. And so are you, pal. I know you are as well.
Only because we're rapping about it, B, and I got to share it. Share it.
Sure.
Here we go. There he is, buddy.
Hold on. Yeah, that's my guy. There he is. That's Crater Face. What's his name? Dynamanoff?
No, I think that's I don't think that's his name. I think that's the somebody on Pinterest, but I just pulled up the photo real quick because I just search for Crater Face.
Yeah, he really shook me up when I was a little kid seeing Grease, Crater Face.
The rules are there ain't no rules. Okay, so I think you should go first today because I went first last week. How do you feel about that?
That's fine. Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. No surprise to everybody in the audience, since I'm a pretty well-documented Grateful Dead enthusiast, aka Deadhead. So are some of my friends, Rags included, Winks included. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ignore Philly. I'm going to ignore Kansas City, but I do want to talk about New Orleans because the Grateful Dead have great history in New Orleans. So let me grab this bad boy right here. Today I want to show off this. This is a vinyl release of Grateful Dead at Giant Stadium, June 17th, 1991.
Wow.
This show, I was at this show, and so was Rags. I was actually sitting with Rags at this show. And here, it's noteworthy for a couple of reasons. One, this show right here, the Giant Stadium, 6/17/91, it's the only show in Grateful Dead history where they opened an entire show with Eyes of the World. Never happened. That was the only time it ever happened, was at this show. And it's usually a second set song where they would open a second set with it. But in this case, they opened the whole show. That was really rare. But then, this is why I want to connect this to New Orleans. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's hard to see the track list. Anyway, it's a great package. There is a monster version of Truckin' in this show, where Phil Lesh is dropping the low frequency bombs. It's just a killer version. And in the song Truckin', they tell the story of their bust in New Orleans, because the Grateful Dead got busted in New Orleans. They got jailed. In fact, they threw Jerry's ass in the slammer down in fact, could you bring up the mugshot of Garcia? I want to show
let me grab that. He's
the happiest looking guy I've ever seen, who's just gotten arrested and about to be jailed. He's psyched almost. Wait till you see this. Here's Jerry Garcia, the mugshot from New Orleans, whenever Tony can produce it, because it's a classic.
Here, I'll get it up right now. Here we go.
Okay.
Stand by, P.
Yeah.
Show this is because this is quite a shot, man.
Garcia, man.
Look at
Boom. Look at that. He's psyched. He's like, with the New Orleans underneath it. 131 1970. Jerry Garcia busted down the Bourbon Street. Anyway,
yeah,
that is
Paulie.
that's my assignment of the week. The Grateful Dead's connection to New Orleans through the song "Truckin'," which again, there is a monstrous version of "Truckin'." This whole show smokes. Hence why they released it on vinyl. It's a classic. So check. You can pull it up on Spotify, Apple Music. The name of the package is Grateful Dead Saint of Circumstance. But again, it's the Giant Stadium show from June 17th, 1991. Boom. My pick is in the books. Creative Tony, the floor is yours, kid.
Speaking of Spotify, Paulie, can you tell the people the name of how to find this ever evolving playlist that we're gonna?
You know what?
Every week we're gonna take these musical selections and put them into a playlist on Spotify. Paulie, take it away.
I will. No, thank you for reminding me. I would have forgotten that, actually. So, yeah, I'm building a playlist. It's on Spotify right now. We're just out of the gate, so I think we only have 4 tracks on there so far.
Mm-hmm.
But every week, I'll continue to add the new stuff to it if you want to pull it up and enjoy. It's called PMP 25, Polymac Particle 25. You can find it on Spotify. Enjoy. And I'll put the trucking on there after the show today, the version I'm talking about. And it's so good. Bruce Hornsby was at this gig as well. Really well sung, well played. And Tony, I'll add your track when you reveal what it is.
Okay, so I'm actually, because there are some good bands that came out of Philly, and there's this one band, they're not together anymore, but they only were together for maybe like 3 albums. It's a band out of Philly called Dr. Dog. And I was really into them for a while, and they would play the clubs and like the Independent, the Fillmore in the city, and they put their albums out on records, and I highly recommend them. This album is called B Room by Dr. Dog, and they're a Philadelphia band. And here's the cover. Can you see that, Paul? There you go. There's the cover. And then here's the back. Look at these guys. Dr. Dog.
That's my boy in the poncho right there.
Yes, the poncho is great.
Yeah.
The name of the album, B Room, and I'm going to take the track Broken Heart because I'm hoping that the Eagles will leave the Chiefs with broken hearts. Okay.
What's the style of music we're talking about here? What is it like?
That's a really good question. It's kind of rock, Black Crowsy,
rootsy kind of Americana rock. Yeah,
roots rock. It's really good. Dr. Dog, B Room, check that album out.
Okay.
They have a couple other albums out too, but I highly recommend this album, B Room, and the song Broken Heart.
Okay.
And then quickly, just an honorable mention, only because I love this gentleman and the Super Bowl's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Dr. John's last album before he passed away, he recorded this as he was getting ill, and it's called Dr. John, Things Happen That Way. And he does a few songs with Willie Nelson, with Aaron Neville. It's a really, really good album. And he does Walk on Gilded Splinters with Lucas Nelson from Promise of the Real. Yeah.
Nice.
Willie's son. So Dr. John, Things That Happen That Way. Really, it's a chill, mellow album, but really good, man. If
God rest his soul, Doctor. We're so fortunate we got to meet him up on Mount Tam at one of the Sound Summit gigs a few years ago. He's always been out on the perimeter with the Grateful Dead too. Dr. John is kind of woven in and out of the Dead scene for many, many years. Must have been the right place, but it must have been the wrong time.
Dude, he actually, he took my daughter and was like, "Hey, you might come over here." Like, he was so nice. The way he talks, like almost like Wolfman Jack, kind of.
Yeah,
but,
good call.
But mellower.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been nicer. And by the way, we got Charlie Neary checking in. Dr. Dog still recording and touring. That's great.
Rock and roll
news. I thought they broke up, so that's great to hear, Charlie. Thank you, bud. And then Tom Peralta, Doctor. Right? I mean, for me, that's Thompson Twins, Doctor. But it could be
Robert Palmer. Give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. Jeff Winkler, though, my main man Winks, he says, F all that. I go right to the source. Dr. Feel Good. Great track. Great track.
It's a great track. I totally agree. That's a great
By the way,
track.
The whole album. That's a great album. That first 5 or 6 Motley Crue records, that's some great slabs of American hard rock they were doing back then. Dr. Feelgood, good call, Winks. All right, hey, listen, let's wrap it up now. It's particle pick of the week time.
Yes,
and Creative Tony. Since I went, well, what's the order? How are we gonna do?
You're gonna end it, dude, because I just, mine is very random.
Okay,
but I feel only because we have a bunch of them in the house right now, and thanks to my wife Megan, who bought a bunch of them, and she knows that I'm a sucker for these. And
Okay.
my particle pick of the week, I'm picking a piece of candy that everybody should enjoy. And I'm going to throw it out here, dude. The 100 grand.
Oh,
That
all
is
right.
my
Hey, you know what? I
particle,
got,
dude.
by the way, it's one of the only candy bars in American history that successfully pulled off a name change. They used to be called $100,000 bar. I don't know if you remember that.
Really?
You got to go way back. Yes, you got to go back in the day when I was a little kid. They were called $100,000 bar, and then
Nice.
they kind of abbreviated that to 100 grand. But
Dude.
you're right. It's a
It's a-
delicious treat with the chewy caramel and all that stuff. Yeah.
So enjoy it. 100 grand. Hopefully after the Eagles win on Sunday, and I can't believe I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I'm like we're forced. We're forced. Our hands are tied, Paulie. We're
Okay,
forced.
there's so much going on in the comments line. I wish I had we should do a whole show where all we do is read comments.
Yeah.
Rag says I'm a huge 100 grand bar
Yes, nice.
fan,
Nice.
and then he already scrolled past me, but I saw John Joseph talking about the pre Bob Rock Motley Crue albums. 100%, John.
Right there.
100%. Those are all great records. I hear you. Theater of Pain, Girls, all that stuff.
Totally.
Great rock. Shout out to Devil. Great stuff. All right. So 100 grand. I can't dispute that, brother. I'm a 100 grand fan myself.
And
So
Rags
good for
also we got to give honorable mention to the whatchamacallit bar, because Rags just mentioned the whatchamacallit.
you guys are going to catapult me into a candy binge if this talk keeps up.
One more
Because now-
time, man.
Yeah.
Just get into the goodness of that bar right there. It's so
I have
good.
had a $100,000 bar within the last probably year or so, Halloween time, but I have not had a whatchamacallit in probably decades. And
What
you know
about-
what? It sounds good right now. A
Totally.
whatchamacallit actually sounds pretty good. It really does.
Winkler says the Reggie bar. And
Dude, I
last-
like the Reggie bar.
Me
I was a
too.
Reggie
Me
bar
too.
fan. Those were good.
Remember the Clark bar? There was the Clark bar.
Uh-huh.
And also, Paulie, did you ever dabble with the Abba Zaba?
Yeah, Abba Zaba's tough. Shout out Dave Chappelle eating Abba Zaba in half baked. He goes, "You're my only friend, Abba Zaba," and he takes that big pull off the Abba Zaba. Anyway, Creative
great
Tony,
call.
my particle pick of the week is also unusual, like yours, and here's why.
Yes.
My particle pick of the week, I'm going to point something out that I've never even experienced before, but my excitement is so high for this. It's going to be the Led Zeppelin documentary. That's my
Ooh.
particle pick of the week.
Nice.
It premieres today, at least here in San Francisco. We saw Paul Stanley at the premiere, which I assume was in Los Angeles. I'm guessing. Maybe it was over in London. I'm not sure. But I will be seeing it tomorrow with our buddy Drutzy. I'm going to go down to the Metreon and check that out on IMAX. So I'm very excited about that.
It's going to be
My
fantastic.
because I feel like if this can like encourage anybody else to discover Led Zeppelin's catalog, then I've done my work for the day, because it is such a rewarding journey to dive into that Zeppelin catalog. And as I said, I never got to see him live, and I'm really eager to see the Zeppelin story told by the members of Led Zeppelin. Should be very, very cool experience. So that's my particle pick of the week, the Led Zeppelin documentary. Creative Tony, sound that outro. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I expect a full report on Monday, dude, about this movie.
You're going to
Okay.
get it. You're going to probably
All
get more than you want. Well, actually, maybe Tuesday, because we're going to be talking Muppet on Monday, whether or not the Muppet won the Super Bowl. So, but I'll work it in if I can. And
Dude,
if I don't,
Were you about to say more than you bargained for? Were you about to say getting it more than you bargained for? Was that what you were about to say?
No.
You're gonna get more than you bargained for? Oh.
no,
I
I don't think so. But I will give you the review. I definitely
Yes.
will give you the review.
Bring the review, dude, please. Okay.
Naomi coming in with her candy choice of the day. Almond Joy. I'm Puerto Rican. We love coconut. You know what, Naomi? I'm not
Nice.
Puerto Rican, but maybe I should do like an ancestry search, because I love coconut too. I'm
Yeah.
Irish and Italian, but I do love freaking coconut, man. I'll take coconut milk, coconut ice cream. Oh, Naomi, check this out before I say goodbye for the day. I don't know if you know this or not. Ben and Jerry's had a limited flavor, dude. I think it was called Coconut Fudge Chunk. Came out like 15 years ago, maybe, and it was unbelievable. If you're a coconut enthusiast, this is like your
Don't bullshit me.
I'm not Arnold. This is legit. Coconut ice cream, chunks of fudge, and I think there were like chocolate covered almonds in there too. It was
Ooh.
insane.
Come on,
A
don't
stoner's
bullshit me.
delight. If I, no, I'm not. Come on, Tony. Outro music, if you will,
Yes. Well, can we dismiss the class, Paulie?
please. Yeah, come on. Every day I have the same
Yeah.
reaction. My head starts banging involuntarily when I hear Hot for Teacher. Creative Tony, you be well, buddy. Go Well, I don't want to say go anybody. I know there's so much bad blood about this Super Bowl, dude. Everybody's pissed. But I'll tell you this much. I am going for the Eagles. I hate the Chiefs with a blinding passion.
Yeah.
And if they win a third Super Bowl, it's going to be a long show on Monday. Final word about Longbridge Pizza, too. Stock up for the game. Stock up for the weekend. Hey, if you want to be a real gangster, you want to know what I would do? I would place my order with Longbridge on Saturday.
Yes.
That way, you just got everything on hand. You don't have to run around Sunday. And by the way, of course, we all know that you do not heat pizza in a microwave. We know that, right? You got to just take the 5 minutes, heat the oven. I'm a 375 guy. Okay. I got a pizza stone. So I put the pizza stone in the oven. Then I go 375. I have found that is like the right temp for reheating a pizza. So you guys enjoy that. The laid back vibe, the serious pizza, I can vouch. It is legit. Neil Denardi is our good buddy who runs the place. He'll take great care of you. Whether it's a Vinny's Gabagool sandwich, maybe it's Creative Tony's Square Pizza. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe you want some of that.
Pizzas, man.
Tony, do the announcement about the tapping of the Pliny again? When's that happening?
So Pliny the Younger, you guys, the other you beer enthusiasts out there that know this, it's rare to get a Pliny the Younger keg tapped around you. Neil and the boys and everybody at Longbridge Pizza are tapping a keg of Pliny the Younger on Tuesday for their 11th anniversary. So congrats on their 11th anniversary. We will be talking about this on Monday again. Also, yes, get your Super Bowl orders in early. Get the orders in early because they're going to be swamped, and they want to provide the best possible food for your Super Bowl party or your hangout.
Yeah.
So longbridgepizza.com for sure, man, and they'll take great care of you.
Thanks, Tony.
Absolutely. Yep.
Final words of the weekend. F the Chiefs. Go Led Zeppelin. Go Dr. Dog. Go Grateful Dead trucking in New Orleans getting busted. And go Jerry Garcia mugshot. If I ever get arrested and jailed, I hope I look half as happy as Jerry did in that photo right there. God bless Jerry. I miss him every single day. I really do. All you guys on the comments line, we love you. That's it. Yes. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not playing with you. We do. We love you. Patty, I'm so glad to see you in the mix today, too. 49er Red Zone. Love you, brother. Ragman, all of you guys. We'll see everybody on Monday. Be safe. Have a good weekend. And like Mickey Hart always says, you know what? Be kind to each other. Why not?
Yes.
Try it out.
Yes.
For a goof, be kind to each other. Let's see how that goes for a change. Tony, final thoughts.
And at the end of the day, it's just a football game. We love our Chiefs fans. We love our Eagles fans. And it's at the end of the day, it's just a football game.
That's
all.
all.
I also want to say, the audio versions of this show are on Spotify at Polymax Particles. They're on Apple Podcasts at Polymax Particles. Like and subscribe for our show on YouTube at Polymax Particles. And the playlist on Spotify, PMP25. I think there'll be 6 tracks in there, right? After today.
I have my notes right here. As soon as I break from the broadcast, I'll be loading those songs on. So they'll be up within like 2 minutes. PMP25 on Spotify. Enjoy, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you all for jumping in on the show. It is the Vibe Tribe. We're building this brick by brick, and you guys are in on the ground floor. And we're so appreciative of all of you. Seriously, from the bottom of my hearts. And the Meat Locker. The Meat Locker, Longbridge Pizza Meat Locker.
I'd love to throw Mahomes in the meat locker and then just lock the door, leave him in there for a few hours. You bring him out, he look like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining, with the icicles coming off his nose and stuff like that. Throw them up in the meat locker if we have a chance. Yeah.
And for the record, I am taking the roughing the passer prop bet. I'm going to do that. Roughing the passer. I'm going to do that. So
I think you'll win. I think you're
so
going to win a good sum of money, Tony. So enjoy. And again, as I say, double guns to the Chiefs. F them. And I'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great weekend, y'all. Be cool.